Did you find this video because you are 38 or 39 or 40 or 41 or maybe 42 weeks pregnant and you are saying to everyone and anyone, get this baby out of me? Trust me, I feel for you, I am here for you, and I understand what you're going through. And that is why in today's video, I am going to show you all of my secret birthing ball tips to help you naturally induce and start labor on its own. Now, before we jump into this, I definitely just need to say, when your baby is ready to come, your baby will come, and no time sooner than that on their own. If your baby isn't ready, none of these tricks are really gonna do anything, because until baby is ready, your body doesn't get everything that it needs in order to kickstart labor. But if your baby is ready and they maybe just need a little bit of a push when it comes to getting in the right alignment and pushing down on your cervix to get all those good hormones flowing, then these birthing ball tricks might work for you. If you have found yourself to my channel for the first time, my name is Carly. I am a labor and postpartum doula, and I create content here on my channel all about pregnancy, labor, and motherhood, and pretty much everything that falls in between. And it is my passion to support, empower, and educate pregnant people so that they can have the birthing experience that they deserve. And I know all too well that sometimes we are just done being pregnant. It feels like nothing we're doing is getting labor moving, and I know that is a tough spot to be in. But my first piece of advice to you is to try to relax as much as you can. We want that hormone oxytocin flowing as much as we can, and oxytocin does not come when there is a lot of stress. So try not to stress yourself out. Luckily, most of these different birthing ball positions are quite relaxing, and they actually make you feel pretty comfortable. So let's go ahead and jump into the positions. Now, before I jump on to the yoga ball, I just want to mention this is a video in a series of videos that I've created about how to naturally induce labor. So if you haven't seen those other videos, I will link the playlist here for you to go and look through all of them. Alrighty, you ready to watch me do some stretches on this yoga ball? The first one that I'm going to show you is seriously so simple. This is just literally replacing your couch with your birthing ball. You want to make sure that you keep your legs in a right angle. You don't want your knees to come above your hips, and you don't want them to go below, because that's gonna like tuck your butt. You want to imagine a string being connected from your belly button to the top of your head. So having this proper posture and not tucking your butt like this and having this alignment is going to encourage baby to settle and kind of move down into your pelvis in the right position. We want them to be anterior. So keeping your feet apart and keeping your knees at a 90-degree angle and just kind of bouncing like this is going to give them the opportunity to properly settle their head and also relieve some pressure on you. This next one is super simple. It's called the pelvic tilt, and you're going to keep your feet flat and at a 90-degree angle again, and you're just going to rock back and forth using your abs mostly. And this is going to help to warm up your pelvic ligaments that are keeping baby in place. We don't want them to get tight because we want our hips to open up, and we want to loosen up our pelvis and our hips, and that's exactly what this is going to do. You want to make sure that you keep your abs engaged and your shoulder blades back to make sure that your posture is where it needs to be. And you can pretty much do this anytime. It's so strange to watch yourself on a yoga ball, but this is all you have to do. It is very, very simple. And you want to make sure the yoga ball you get is tall enough and big enough for your height. I'm going to link my favorite one down below if you guys want to check it out. This one is amazing, super inexpensive from Amazon. And for reference, I am 5'10", and this is the extra large. On to a crowd favorite, circles with your hips. This is everyone's favorite position because it feels so good. It relieves that pressure on your pelvis that you get at the end of term, but you definitely want to make sure you're only doing this if you know your baby is in an anterior position. That is very important. But if your baby is head down in that anterior position, what this is going to do is help to put a little bit of pressure on your cervix from baby's head. So you literally just circle your hips in different rotations over and over, and it helps to get baby to settle down even more. And when our baby's head is pressing down on our cervix, that means oxytocin is being released. And what does oxytocin do? It causes contractions. I actually have a video coming out soon all about like the hormones of labor. I will link it here whenever it's posted. But that is what this helps with. Plus, it just feels really good. This is something you can do while you're in labor as well to help relieve some pain and also continue to encourage contractions. This position is the seated side lunge, and this is fantastic for opening up the most narrow part of your pelvis. It really gives baby a little bit of more room to descend down into your pelvis. If you haven't seen it yet, I just posted a step-by-step video of how to do the Miles circuit, and the third step in that circuit is doing lunges. And this basically gives baby the opportunity to really get their head in the right, proper alignment in your pelvis. But you want to make sure that your knee does not go over your toes, because that actually will just close your pelvis off, and that is the opposite of what we want to do. So you can do side to side before you're having contractions. During a contraction is really great, but this is something that is definitely going to help to get your pelvis open in the proper position that we need and get that really narrow portion open too. Okay, on to a super fun one. This is the infinity loop or the figure 8 with your hips. This takes a little bit more brain power than the others to do properly, but you basically are just drawing a figure 8 or an infinity sign with your hips. Now, what this is going to do is keep your pelvic ligaments nice and loose so that your baby can descend down. Whenever you are walking around and you feel that kind of sharp stabbing pain in your lower belly, it's your ligaments getting really tight, those round ligaments and your pelvic ligaments. When they are tight like that and you have any kind of quick movement, it can be really painful. It can also keep your baby higher up and keep them from descending down. So what this is going to do is create a fluidity and a flexibility and a looseness that we want, kind of gently stretching those ligaments out. So again, you're going to keep your knees at a 90-degree angle and your feet hip width apart, and you're just going to do this for like 15 to 20 minutes and just periodically change directions. Like I said, it takes a little bit more brain power to realize if you're doing it properly, and watching yourself do it is honestly hilarious, but it feels amazing and it does a really good job of loosening those ligaments. Now we are going to come off of the yoga ball and use it to stabilize some other positions. Grab something to lean the yoga ball up against, like a poof or a couch or a wall, and you can push it up against it so that you don't roll away. But this is the like leaned over cat-cow type position, and this is so lovely whenever you get towards the end of your pregnancy. This is going to help to relieve that pressure you have on your lower back and really give you the chance to open up space within your womb. You can also really spend some time with your breath here and just kind of sink into the positions, breathing in your nose and out your mouth, and just trying to get some deep relaxation while you're also doing some nice stretches. This is also something you can really utilize whenever you actually do go into labor. This is going to help to relieve some pressure whenever you start to feel those contractions. But by doing this cat-cow pose on the floor, you're going to be able to, like I said, make a lot of extra space in your womb so that baby has the opportunity to move around and get in the right position. And if they are in the right position, then it's going to help to apply some pressure onto your cervix. So you can grab a pillow and put it under your knees if you need a little bit of extra support there. And this next position is super similar, but gives you a little bit more space in your pelvis and kind of opening up that really narrow portion of your pelvis like we were doing a little bit earlier. This position was my all-time favorite whenever I was at the end of my pregnancy and going into labor. This is basically how I spent like
the entire 7 hours I was in labor. It is so comfortable to lean over and put all of your weight on the ball and take that weight and pressure off of your back and your hips and really just create this little hammock for a baby in your belly. It's going to encourage them to go down into your pelvis and put pressure on your cervix when you rock forward, and just kind of take it off a little whenever you rock side to side. So this is a really great option for trying to put yourself into labor, and this is also a really great option whenever you are actually in labor as well. Now we're going to come up and stand over our yoga ball with our feet shoulder width apart, and make sure that you keep a straight back and you don't lean too far forward, but we're going to stabilize ourselves with the yoga ball and go down into a deep squat and kind of rock side to side. This is really, really nice for, again, relieving some of that pressure on your back while also getting baby to engage the head down into your cervix by rocking side to side and keeping, like I said earlier, that string, imaginary string, from your belly button to the top of your head straight. You are going to be able to put pressure down into your cervix and get some oxytocin releasing, and hopefully bring on some contractions. Doing squats without a yoga ball might be a little tricky at this point in pregnancy, but it helps to give you a little bit of stabilization and make it a little bit more manageable.
So that does it for today's video. I hope this was helpful for you. And if you are new to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you as a part of this empowering community. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know if any of these tips help you kickstart labor. I love to hear from you guys. It always lights me up so much. So leave me a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.